Hibachi 2007 back at you with another one. And so, we had this situation where this teacher was having his students unbraid his hair at school, and then he did his whole video about how he's connecting with them as his excuse, as if this was appropriate or good judgment. But of course, I wouldn't say of course, he got fired, right? And then he's on here crying about it, which his lack of judgment, if nothing else, to even film this and air it. At least even if you did it but didn't film it, you don't have enough judgment not to put this out there to the public. And so he gets fired, of course. But there's another issue beyond this whole situation and what we think about whether he should have had his students doing this. There is the issue of a jealous mama drama. All right, so check this out.
My child happens to be one of the children taking the braids out the teacher. So people was like, how you felt about the teacher letting the kids take the braids out. My only issue was I come up to this school all the time. Like, you see me come up here all the time, and I consider myself precious. So, like, you see this come up here all the time. Why you ain't asked me to take your braids out? Why you ain't asked me to take your braids out? Because I would have took your braids out. I would have washed your hair, conditioned it. You know what I'm saying? I would have massaged your scalp. I'd have put a little blue grease in your hair. I'm looking for my blue grease now. I'd have put a little blue grease in it. Put a little foam, you know what I'm saying? A little mousse on the braids. Put a little do-rag on it. Like, I would have did all that. So that was my only concern. It was like, you know what I'm saying? I consider myself precious. So I was kind of confused as to, like, baby, you see me come up here all the time. Why you didn't ask me?
So you hear what her only concern was. And everybody's got the same reaction, like, bruh. Bruh. So she's only concerned that he wasn't macking for the clapping. That he didn't want to clap her up. He wasn't interested in her. She has no concern about her daughter and whether or not this was appropriate. I'm not even trying to weigh in on whether it was or it wasn't for this particular talk. Just on the fact of what she declared was her only concern. Only concern about what she gets out of the interaction and not with her child's well-being or not one way or the other. This is one of these women. She calls herself this precious thing, and it made me think about the movie Precious and the mama on there talking about who gonna love me.
I had a man and I have a child. And I had to take care of both of them. Okay? Did I want Carl to touch my baby? Because I would lay my baby. I would lay her on the side of me on this pillow. And it was pink. And it had this little white writing on it, and it had her name. And he touched my baby. And I asked him, I said, Carl, what are you doing? And he told me to shut my fat ass up, and it was good for her.
And what did you do then?
I shut my fat ass up. And I don't want you to sit there and judge me, Miss Weiss.
You shut up and you let him abuse your daughter.
I did not want him to abuse my daughter. I did not want him to hurt her. I did not want him to do nothing to her. I wanted him to make love to me. That was my man. That was my fucking man. That was my man. And he wanted my daughter. And that's why I hated her. Because my man, who was supposed to be loving me, who was supposed to be making love to me, was fucking my baby. Who else was gonna love me?
And that's how these kind of mamas think. That's how these vile, foul mamas are. Now, this is not to suggest that she wants to give her child over for child molestation, but it also suggests that she's not very concerned about that. Only thing is she's concerned about is who's going to love me? Who's going to take care of this precious body? Who's going to make me feel good? What can I get out of any transaction that my daughter is involved with the male? And if that even means being okay with my daughter being too close and too intimate with the man so that I can have the chance to push up on him. Okay. That's why you have these ratchet mamas out here sleeping with their son, with their daughters' boyfriends, probably their sons' boyfriends too. Sleeping these days, sleeping with their daughters' boyfriends. That goes on a lot, or at least trying to get an opportunity to push up on uh, her her daughter's younger man, and their mind states are just so demented. And there's so many of them. I even showed you the video about how older women, grown women, are out here trying to groom babies to have a mind state and trying to sexualize kids very often in a way that will to try to groom them early to make black women their preference and things of that nature.
We've got a new level of low in the bed winching zaddy swirler world with what they're coming with. And just when we didn't think we could get lower than sugar baby swirling.
Did
he just check me out? He passed the vibe check. He gets to come to all the barbecues.
This is what it's come down to with these demented divester chicks. They're demented. This is what you get from the most pro-black women, the most pro-black people of all, these gender studies, intersectionalist black chicks who just claim they so down for the black community and they're the ones saving us from everything. They're over here sexualizing babies, sexualizing white male babies just to get some validation. Because this little baby is looking at you because he's a curious baby and wants to look in someone's face and just discover the world as babies do. They have to take it and make it something sexual, make it something pervy, sitting over here grooming a little baby.
These chicks are really weird. And this is what it's come to with a lot of them. A lot of these just out of control, wild out, overly sexualized. This is why you don't mess with women who've been with a lot of men who revel in hookup culture. They are completely animalistic minded. They don't even have a natural adult woman or natural mothering instinct and state of mind. Everything is about their sexual gratification. They are low class and they are deprived of the kind of affection women need, and they become very desperate and they will do anything, and they don't care about their own children, their own daughters. And you'll just find that these women are just unfit to be the mother of your children or to be a woman in your life in any kind of capacity. That's why you have to just vet these women and be clear about what you're dealing with, because daughter jealousy is a big thing with these wild women these days. It is for real. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm out of here on this one. Stay away from these weirdo women and peep game. This is what happens when there's no male leadership in their lives and there's no right moral code and they're into this degraded culture. This is what you get.